Hey guys, kind of doing this a little backwards. I know I did our video shortly or a little while ago about our April tournament at Toledo. I really haven't been keeping up with all this, with everything going on, but I'm gonna try to catch us up now and go from our first, second, third tournament, kind of get y'all going with what happened there. And then kind of go over the AOY points right now, where we're at. So let's start off with our first tournament of the year. Was at Calcasieu River. Let's see. First place was Jimmy Brown and Trenton Smith. They've been doing good this year. Let's see. They had 5 fish for $6.58. The guys that don't know that's watching this, the Calcasieu River is coming back from Hurricane Rita. It's there's a lot of fish on it right now. I mean, this is what happens after a hurricane. It dies. It's got a recovery time of a couple of years, but when it comes back with a lot of fish, and eventually we'll probably start seeing a little bit better stringers. Rivers really on the Calcasieu and stuff, you get 10 pounds to 12, 13 pounds. I mean, you're doing good on that river. Sabine River, depending if what they allow, if you allow the marshes and everything else, I mean, you could see some 17, 20 pound stringers. But if you don't, and it's just river kind of fishing, you're gonna probably be the same thing, in a 9, 10, 11 pound class. Anyway, back to the stats. Jimmy and Trenton had first place with $6.58. Second place was John Ledoux and Casey McDonald. They had $5.38. And third place was Darren Savant with $4.03. So that's how that tournament went. The river was a little high. I don't think the weather was bad, if I recall right. It was, I don't know, it wasn't freezing like our normal first tournament is, where we're out there at 12-degree weather or some stupid stuff. But it wasn't that bad. It was, the only thing was the river was high. We had a lot of rain. It was high. It fished a little tough for that day. I think a couple of weeks before, I mean, we were smashing them. I mean, catching a bunch of small ones, but still, we were catching a bunch of fish. This one, I don't think anybody really smashed them as far as catching a lot, but they still brought in some, so that was good. We jump on into February. February was at the Sabine. Man, this one was an interesting one. The Sabine north was high because of Toledo Bend. They were letting water out, and the north end was high. A lot of current. Come down south, it was low. Actually, it was very low because of the tide. The tide pulled out that day, but it fished okay. I mean, we did fine. First place was this was great. Of course, I don't have the name of the guest, but Boo Fontenot and his guests were fishing. They had 13.15, which is that's an excellent stringer on the Sabine. Good job to those guys. Second place was Jimmy Brown and Trenton. Like I said, they're having a great year this year. They had 10-12. That's an excellent stringer for the Sabine River. Third place went to John Ledoux and Casey McDonald. They had 9.3. Again, a good stringer for the river, especially with the way it was fishing, with the north end being real high and that tide sucked out pretty hard that tournament. From what I'm hearing, they, Boo and them caught late, like right at the end of the tournament. I think that's when the tide was starting to come back in. John and Casey, I know, caught very early, and then their bite died down after that when the tide sucked completely out. I think Jimmy and them pulled into a spot. It was later in the day, I believe, and they got on them. So good job there. had quite a few fish caught for this one. Not bad for, like I said, the conditions, the way they were, but a good tournament overall. March, we were at Toledo Bend. Let's see where we had first place. Oh yeah, I remember this one. This was a couple of weeks ago. Mike Brown. Mike Brown did a good job, 12:35. Again, guys, this was the same kind of conditions that we had this April tournament. The water was pulled out. They've been dropping the water on Toledo quite a bit. Mike told me he had caught very, very shallow, which was surprising because there's nothing in the shallow water right now on the Louisiana side, and I know he was fishing Louisiana. Second place was Tony Hayden and Ralph Phillips. I know they were fishing on the Texas end. They had 11.93, and I think they had big bass that tournament, if I'm not mistaken. They had a 362, which again, March, Toledo, that's just unheard of to have a big bass that small. But, you know, nonetheless, they had it, and good job for it. Third place, if I can find him, here we go. Boo Fontenot, who's they're having a good year too. Randall Burnett, I don't know if that was his partner from the first. I'm gonna have to look at that. But anyway, they placed third with 10.58. This tournament obviously was probably a little bit tougher than our April tournament, which is surprising. But yeah, that's where that stood. Let's see, and you know what April is for Toledo. I just did a video on that. I'll do a recap on it real quick. April again, first place, Austin and Joey Romero. Austin Brown, Joey Romero with 14.36. Jimmy and Trenton second place with 13.12. And Boo and Trev on that one for third place, 12.78. I think Big Bass on that one was 4 something. Anyway, let's go to our AOY. Right now, Jimmy Brown is leading the AOY. Jimmy's having a good year, man. He's had just solid tournaments. Let's see. He's got 403. Second place, his son, Austin Brown. Austin's doing real good too. Having a great year. He has 376. Joey, Austin's partner, again had a good year with 375. John Ledoux is coming in on fourth with 373. Casey McDonald coming in fifth with 369. Me, Jared LeBlue, I'm in sixth with 366. Trenton Smith is in seventh with 365. Boo Fontenot is in eighth with 331. Chad Lejean is in ninth with 331. And rounding out 10th place is Mitch LeBlue with 327. Now, obviously our Angler of the Year points are going to change up quite a bit when we get to that cut line. We are allowed to drop 3 tournaments. For the year, we have 9, so you're going to get a total of 6 tournaments. Highest possible points on 6 tournaments would be 618 points. So we'll see where that lands once we start doing drops and stuff. All in all, man, it's been kind of a tough year, to be honest with you. Not stacking up a lot of fish. We've had some pretty tough tournaments. But all in all, we've had some good numbers. We've had some good turnout. Everybody seems to be having a good time, even though these tournaments are tough. Hopefully, you know, coming in now with now that we're out of this I guess funky situation, hopefully we'll start packing up and getting some better weights and some more fish brought in. But we'll see. No matter what, I mean, dude, we're always going to enjoy ourselves. We're going to have a great time with this. Congratulations to the guys right now that are are killing it. Jimmy doing a great job, man. Austin, Joey, I mean, knocking it out the park, guys. Good job. You know, Trenton Smith, he's one of our youngest members. I mean, man, good job. You know, 7th place, good deal. Everything going as it should, man. So till our next one, which is at Sam Rayburn, that'll be our next. Well, I'll say it'll be our next video. Maybe tomorrow I'll bring in, like I said, the winners of our last tournament, kind of give it a little talk if they want to. We'll see what happens. If not, the next video will be Sam Rayburn. See y'all later. Thank you.